Welcome to Faith Biscuits. I'm Don Shrum. Today we get into a little March Madness only with movies. Specifically, what's the best sci-fi fantasy film of the last 10 years? Borrowing a 64-element bracket from IO9. It's a website that says we come from the future. There's a picture of this bracket, by the way, attached to this episode of the podcast if you want to follow along. But just listening, you'll get the gist anyway. Talking movies and recruiting a couple of my favorite movie reviewers. So we got this bracket from Marty. This is something my kids aren't familiar with. Sports having not been really, I would say, a key component of your upbringing. Is that fair?
I'm familiar with brackets.
Okay.
But that's a fair assessment of the upbringing part, yeah.
So just for our listeners, our tens of listeners who might make this podcast, this is a 64 bracket just like the NCAA, wherein 64 of the best sci-fi fantasy, I got questions about that title later, of the last 10 years are paired together somewhat randomly. And then we're going to get from 64 down to 32 and 16 down to 8 in the final four and find the best movie of the last 10 years, the best sci-fi fantasy movie. Is that your understanding? Don't worry, I can edit out these silences later.
It's nice fun work for you.
You weren't doing anything this afternoon, were
I'm
you?
only at work. What does that matter? Is our goal can't be unanimity, can it? For all three of us to agree?
I mean, I would say there's a correct answer here.
Okay.
Yeah, Elizabeth thinks this is easy, whereas I found it very challenging. So that's interesting.
I found
to me.
parts of it very challenging, but the winner, I think, was a clear winner in every matchup that it had.
And I've got to say, I'd agree with that, actually. Listen, we don't have time to do all 64. Do you want to start 16 in, and we'll say a few words about those brackets and maybe who they beat to get there. And so we start arguing in the... Do you have your paper in front of you, Elizabeth?
I do. It's right on my second monitor.
Okay. Oh, wow. Can we agree that maybe we'll start northwest and southwest and northeast and southeast and take those movies that are paired together so we're all talking about the same collection of movies as we move in towards the center, towards the final? So, for example, just to get us going, and I know, Elizabeth, you like this, but probably not as much as your sister Kate, who won't be quiet about this movie. Mad Max Fury Road.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have that in your last 16?
I do have, 64, 32, 16. Yes, I do have Mad Max Fury Road there.
And what did Mad Max beat out to get there?
Mad Max beat out Star Wars The Last Jedi, which is, as we all know, the best Star Wars movie.
That's really something, isn't it?
Whoa!
Whoa!
Okay, it's the Star Wars...
You know what? Stop. We don't even have time for this, Elizabeth. We don't have time.
It's the Star Wars movie I've enjoyed watching the most in the past
It's
15
4
years.
At best. It's
good.
4 at best.
It's easily second,
6,
if not first.
5, Rogue One, Last Jedi.
Rogue One.
It's way better than Rogue One.
All right.
Yeah, that might be fair. 3 at best.
It's The Last Jedi. I
better
agree.
than-
I liked it a lot.
I'll give you 1 of 6 or 5 over Last Jedi. I will not give you both.
Okay, I'm sorry I brought the whole thing
That's
up.
fine.
Because it lost
6,
to Mad
for the
Max.
record.
It lost to Mad
Because
Max. It did
the
lose to Mad
entire
Max.
Star Wars universe just lost to Mad Max.
Well, no, there is The Force Awakens later on, but that didn't make it out of the 64 bracket.
That's exactly right. Why
To
would
be clear, I put Inside Out as the winner immediately over Star Wars. I'll be honest.
That's so
there.
wrong.
Did you ever see Inside Out, Elizabeth?
I did see Inside Out. It's very good.
It's way more creative and novel and interesting and doing new stuff, and I felt like it deserved credit for that.
Kate, why do you love Mad Max so much? Fury Road from 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
It's great.
17?
Didn't you find the whole chase scene a little bit monotonous? Didn't you find all the red-hued picture a little bit monotonous? I liked what's her name, the lead.
2015.
Wow, 4 years ago.
No, I think Mad Max is a really strong movie.
All right. Who do you have Mad Max paired against? Since Mad Max is the first coming out into the 16, I already know this. I've got it paired against Black Panther.
I have it paired against Black Panther too. Although, to be fair, I haven't seen Cloud Atlas, and I hear very good things. I hear that it's very good but very flawed, which does sound right up my alley. So I need to see Cloud Atlas.
Yeah, I don't recommend Cloud Atlas to anybody. I was bored with it. I didn't think it was good.
That's because you don't like long movies.
You are a little bit easily
which we'll get
bored,
back to
if
later.
being fair.
Man, that hurts.
I'm just saying, it's gonna come up a few scrolls down in this bracket.
All right. So we got Mad Max and Black Panther. We're in agreement there. The next one is even easier because I'm 100. As much as I'm sure of anything else on this entire 64 bracket, I know the next one Elizabeth has is Logan, having beaten out Moon.
That is very correct.
Now we have a hard time here because Kate hasn't seen Logan.
Because Kate hates good movies. Is that right, Kate?
That's wrong.
What?
But I do put Moon for the win. Obviously, I recognize I need to see Logan, and that's a weakness in my chart.
Kate just
okay,
saw
so
whatever this is.
Kate, in that case, which wins out next, Moon or Snowpiercer?
Oh gosh, see, you're gonna be
I
disappointed.
put Deadpool over Snowpiercer right away. It's more fun if I had to pick a movie to watch
this
or
is
a movie that's
outrageous.
changed. It's changed the genre. We can make funny action movies now. We can make clever jokes. I realize
Deadpool is
number two was stale. I'll give you that. But number one was amazing. And so Moon beats Deadpool, obviously.
First of all, Deadpool 2 is better than Deadpool. And second of all, Snowpiercer is better than Moon.
First of all, can we talk about
no
Sam
way.
Rockwell? Let's talk about Sam Rockwell in Moon. How haunting
Which we
and
apparently
beautiful
all
that
need to
was.
rewatch because there's no way Snowpiercer is better. Snowpiercer is very clever, it's fun to watch, but it's very flawed.
It's sociological, Kate. It's profound. The philosopher in you should love Snowpiercer.
It's not profound. There's a train, some people are at the front, some people are at the back. Oh, look, I explained the metaphor in 2 seconds. You don't need a whole movie about that.
It's what are some of its flaws, Kate? What didn't you like about Snowpiercer?
I think it's really heavy-handed with the metaphor. There's one.
That's
It's an interesting
what I did.
metaphor. I don't need it beaten into my head for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
You just don't like the polar bear at the end wandering on the hillside when everything's desolate and now we have hope and we really think
No, I love the crash at the end. That's great.
All right.
I think that the visual style is really creative and stunning, but it becomes so weird that we in fact can't find emotional grounding in most characters. Most characters wind up being pretty flat because they're this caricature or this over-exaggeration for the sake of the metaphor rather than being unique individuals, so I don't get as emotionally invested in it.
I think you should watch it again.
Okay.
I don't want to.
All right.
Maybe
lifting.
we'll have to have like a top 4 night next
We're going
time
to leave
I'm
this
in town,
open.
and then we can have this fight again.
That would be good. On the Northwest, I'm going to ask, we're going to leave this a little bit open, by the way, between Logan and Moon. Kate, I have to say that Logan, I had given up on action hero movies until I saw Logan 2 years ago now. When was Logan?
Much longer ago than that.
Logan's not 3 years. It might be, actually. You're right. Because your friend took me, Elizabeth.
Logan is 2017, actually.
All right.
You're right.
And I thought, man, I love this movie, and I just love, I want to see X-Men. No, I don't want to get dragged through that again. I loved Logan. So Kate prefers his Deadpool over Snowpiercer. Let's settle this right now, though. Can we take on to the 8? Who gets? I still think Logan beats over Deadpool or Snowpiercer.
Logan does beat Snowpiercer.
Yeah, so we're all in agreement that it doesn't matter Snowpiercer or Deadpool because neither of them are making it on. I'm still going to put Moon because I haven't seen Logan, but you guys are both going to put Logan.
That's exactly right.
But you should be putting Snowpiercer because it's better than Moon.
No,
I want to leave it.
You're wrong.
Dad's going to interrupt here. We're going to drop it. Let's move on. Now, let's go down to the southwest corner of our Sweet 16. That's what you call it when there's 16. It's the Sweet 16. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Has my first doesn't matter of the bracket down here, which was in the 32 segment, not the 16.
Exactly. Oh, because of Wonder Woman and Captain America?
No.
Because of It Follows, Gravity, Lego, all that.
No. Because of Guardians of the Galaxy and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh gosh, none of them make it to the next round anyway, right?
Exactly. It doesn't matter because Ex Machina is better than the Muppets and better than either Guardians of the Galaxy or Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and so it doesn't matter.
Absolutely,
That's right.
Absolutely true. It's a great movie, and it's in this Sweet 16, rightfully so. But what do you have above that in the first of your brackets in the Southwest, Elizabeth?
And the first of my brackets, Edge of Tomorrow has made it to the 16. It beats out Captain America Civil War,
Of course.
which is one of the probably top 3 Marvel movies beneath Thor Ragnarok and Black Panther. But it's not better than Edge of Tomorrow. And I'm not just saying that because I love time travel, but I do love time travel.
Wow, that's a conversation.
This is going to be a common theme with Dad. It's been the deciding factor, I feel like, a couple of times.
I'm just saying.
What if?
Yeah, no, I have Edge of Tomorrow beating all those as well.
I think so too. Elizabeth,
Also, just as a prerequisite going forward, for some of these movies later on in the bracket that some of us might not have seen, let's be careful to not discuss certain themes that might or might not apply to certain other movies on this list.
Whoa, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'll keep that in
You will
mind.
when we get there.
Are you saying we shouldn't talk about things that would be spoilers for people who listen to this podcast?
I'm saying that Dad and I shouldn't talk about themes of a movie on this list that you haven't seen.
Oh no! Are you talking about the Southeast bracket, Elizabeth?
I am talking about the Southeast
Okay,
bracket.
I'll try to avoid that. I'll try
Just as a heads up, throwing that out there into the future.
Okay, but Kate and I had this conversation where, when there's time travel in a movie, I get so taken away and wondrous that I have a hard time evaluating it against mere. Hey, you know what? Uncle Norm says this, that basically ever since Star Trek or Star Wars somewhere, any movie that starts with the logo of the planet spinning, what studio is that? Universal. That he's always kind of disappointed when we end up back on Earth. So he says every movie starts at a disadvantage.
Why would this movie be in space?
I know. Well, you shouldn't start me in space and then dump me in Cleveland. Southwest black bracket.
Yes.
Edge of Tomorrow is, for me, up against Star Trek.
Yes. The original Star Trek 09, I think I saw 6 times in theaters.
Incredible. It's way
So
up there.
It is, to be fair, Star Wars.
Because it's so glossy and fancy and sun
Because
glare.
the plot is identical to A New Hope.
Oh, no.
Farm boy on a planet gets, it's...
Oh, okay, that's
meets old
close.
mentor who dies.
You haven't included Spock, and you haven't included, speaking of which, time
meets
travel.
old mentor who dies.
Oh, that's pretty good. And dies in a snow planet? Remember, in a cave upside... Oh,
Look,
wow.
Star Trek 09 is very good. It is a remake of Star Wars, but it is still very good.
and it's brilliant. I think we 3 saw that together, probably.
Yeah.
And it was we were blown away.
Soundtrack incredible.
We were skeptical going in it.
Space, yeah.
Incredibly high expectations and could not believe that our expectations had been surpassed. What a movie! Is it the best Star Trek of all time? Wrath of Khan.
Galaxy Quest is pretty good.
Yeah, that's right. Galaxy Quest, then Star Trek 09.
That's got Alan Rickman.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, we're going to drop that. How come Galaxy
By
Quest is not
Gorthak's
here?
hammer, by the light I will avenge you. That's a good movie.
It's too old, I think, Dad. You're wondering why Galaxy Quest isn't on this list?
More than 10 years.
Yeah.
What a movie. All right. What we all know below Star Trek's
is Ex
Machina because it was so beautiful and haunting, and the ending is an A+ ending. At a time when many of these movies fall apart in the last 20 minutes, half hour, you go, oh my God. A full grade up just for the last half hour, 20 minutes.
I should watch that again.
Now, Elizabeth, we have a difficult challenge for you, I know, in the Southwest bracket, getting from the 16 to the 8,
I would say it is a difficult challenge for you. I believe Kate and I both have Blade Runner 2049 here.
No, this was actually one of the most difficult decisions for me. I put District 9 over Blade Runner.
I did too.
Really close.
I did that too, but that's because I get bored with really long, boring
long movies. No, so I think in terms of high concept, Blade Runner has it by an edge. But for me, the emotional impact of District 9 was way more than Blade Runner. Lots of people didn't like Blade Runner. For me, it's a very cerebral movie, whereas District 9, I think about stuff, but also like my heart is in the movie.
Elizabeth, how can you argue with that guy slowly turning into an animal, his skin coming off and the underneath? He was terrified.
I mean, he does make a metal rose to creepily leave on his wife's doorstep. That's true.
Yeah.
Think about it from her perspective.
I forgot about. Hold on. What are you talking about?
It's creepy from her perspective. She opens her door and there's a metal
upsetting.
rose there, and
It's
no one.
love, and so
Yeah,
you're
the whole
saying.
thing's upsetting, yeah.
Okay,
like
we're
that,
supposed to
though.
be touched for him, but it is creepy for her. But also, Blade Runner 2049, we're never going to see another movie like it. Because
Let's
it was
hope
made in the
not.
style of the original Blade Runner.
That's true.
It has
That's true.
millions of dollars of model work and miniatures and matte painting, and it didn't do well, and so we are
It's done.
never going to see a movie with that much care and thought poured into it again.
All right. Hey, we
I
saw
think
that
that's
once.
right. And it's a hard matchup for Blade Runner. I wish it could have made it further if it was up against anything else.
I know.
But-
We saw that a lifetime ago before you guys in the first Star Trek movie that was ponderous and dull and beautiful and landscapes and models, all that stuff. But not a great movie. All right. Are we giving it to District 9 then over Blade Runner? Are we in
Or
not that we
Elizabeth,
have
you
to
still
do
have Blade Runner?
unanimity.
Mine's Blade Runner, and I would, any day of the week, I would rather see Blade Runner than District 9. District
By the
9 is
way-
very good.
I don't care about any relationships in Blade Runner. Part of that's intentional. It's a very lonely movie on purpose, but I don't care about any of the relationships. And in District 9, I am moved by the friendship that we see between the characters in the movie.
And you're going to go
lying
gender politics?
when you say you don't care about the relationship between Jake
Harrison-
Gyllenhaal and his AI. You're lying when you say you don't care about that. You are lying when you
Okay.
say that her
Human.
sacrificing her life
Let's
doesn't
all
affect you.
settle. What?
Actually, I think
It's not going to matter because the next
I am
round
lying
anyway,
a little
right?
bit. I'll give.
Neither District 9 or Blade Runner don't beat Ex Machina, do they?
I need to see Ex Machina again.
Okay.
It's so good. It
It's
holds
so
up really
good.
well on repeat viewing. It's very carefully done.
Let's hold this and go to Let's go to the Northeast. We're pressing on.
Okay.
In the Northeast, we have things like Annihilation, which we all liked, I
I
think.
did really like Annihilation, and it didn't make it out of 64.
It didn't make it out
Mike
for
and I
me either
both
because
disliked
Arrival is
it.
better.
You disliked it?
Annihilation.
God, Annihilation was so good.
It's so pretty. It's so intriguing. For me, it fits into that category of movies that fall apart in the third and fourth act.
Oh, that's true.
No.
Where
it
they're
comes
stunning, but I
together.
left the theater confused and not sure
Yes.
what the point was and wondering why I've been sitting there for so long. And I tried to read the book. I did read the book to try to understand.
Oh.
It's very
What
different.
I didn't
Anything.
like
That's,
about the movie.
that's a
It helped a
problem.
little
reading
bit,
the
but I
book.
still just don't like the movie.
I
And
loved
now-
it. Did you see it in theaters?
Yeah.
Okay, because it came out on Netflix too, and it's really different in theaters because of the
Well-
incredible soundtrack.
It's
So does-
so pretty, but
Elizabeth, Annihilation makes it for you into the Sweet 16?
No, it didn't make it out of the 64. I loved
So
it.
none
of us
Annihilation.
matters
It was great. Arrival obliterates
Arrival's
it.
there.
Okay.
We're at Arrival.
I'll-
And what's
I will be right
Arrival up against for you?
Arrival's up against Her.
Wow.
Her,
All right.
Her, which beats
Oh
out
my
my
gosh.
second, doesn't matter because it's Her,
I
and
know
it's
it.
better than either Kick-Ass or Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. To be
And-
fair, I haven't seen Half-Blood Prince in a while, and it does have
No,
some
I
actual
agree.
good character growth for the most interesting character in Harry Potter, Draco Malfoy.
Oh, here we go again.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I
Harry
know.
Potter's a jock who marries his high school sweetheart.
Ouch.
It's true.
Ouch. Listen.
Okay.
Listen,
I have to
people
go get my
hate...
power cord, but first of all, Elizabeth, can you please yell at Dad about how Avatar was garbage? I'll be right back.
Oh my god, Avatar's so bad.
I think maybe it's because I had to pay your ticket and they were expensive 3D tickets.
They were expensive
and it was,
3D tickets.
And it was beautiful.
It
was
beautiful.
thrilling.
It was the best
battles.
implementation of 3D that we've ever seen.
Since we've only seen two others, what?
No,
Not
because
that
it
many.
wasn't, ooh, stuff's coming at your face. It was, no, there was a depth
exactly.
to it.
I
And
love
James Cameron
that.
thought about that when he was making it. But as a
Yes.
movie, it's bad.
You don't like the whole tree of life and the feminist
I don't
power.
like the plot of Pocahontas, no.
This is, I think.
Except
I think
it's
Kate,
Pocahontas where John Smith becomes a Native American.
All right, I'm going to let go of Avatar because I did see her and I liked her.
Also, in Avatar, they have sex the same way that they mind meld with their winged horses, and that's just strange.
That's creepy.
Just saying.
All right, so fine. Arrival against Her. Which is better, Arrival or Her, to get into the final 8 of the Northeast bracket?
Still easy, Arrival.
Yeah, I agree.
Her's really good. Her's really good.
I want to get down to the next one down, which I think might be, for some of us in this 3-person conversation, one of the easier corners of the bracket.
We need to finish up the
16.
Yeah, 16 for the top right.
Yeah, that's where I am. Northeast, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we still got more.
I want to hear, Dad, your bracket first.
Out of
Yes.
War of the Planet of the Apes, who cares? Hereditary, who knows? And by the way, what the hell is Midnight in Paris doing on this?
Oh my God, it's Scott. By the
Time's
thinnest
not
definition,
real, so
time
it's
travel.
a fantasy movie.
Oh God!
He goes back in
He goes back in
time.
time. It's a shitty
Wait,
movie.
who's in that movie?
I actually-
Wow. That guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Owen
He's the blonde guy, Rowan Wilson.
Okay.
He's good. It's
Yeah.
cute. It's a comedy.
He's not. I feel bad about this. Don't put this in the podcast. But this is a movie where Mike was like, "Oh yeah, this is a fun movie. Let's watch it. You'll like it." And then I watched it and was like, "No, this is a bad movie. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this."
Oh, you,
Like,
you are
totally ruined
such a
it.
drag
And
to
it's
have
like,
on a date,
it
honey.
is a bad movie.
Thank you very much for spoiling my movie for me. But none of that is as good as Inception, right?
So I'm going to jump ahead to my top 8, which
Okay.
has, in the top right for me, Arrival versus, and this is going to blow your mind, Hereditary.
What the hell?
I told you it was going to blow your mind.
What?
It won't blow Kate's mind because I already showed her my bracket. But
What?
Hereditary is a horror movie from last year,
Oh no!
and it's incredible. It's incredible.
I think I didn't see it because I just seen a bad horror movie that looked just like it.
You should
a
have
lot
seen
of
it
priests
because it's
and
very
churches
scary.
and burning crosses and.
It's
nothing
very
that couldn't have
scary,
been made
and
50
for
years
me,
ago.
Hereditary beats out Inception. Inception
Oh,
is very good.
God.
I should
Wow.
probably see Inception again. It came out in 2010 or something, but
That's exactly
I saw
right.
Hereditary a month ago, if not 2 weeks.
Hereditary.
And it also beats Get Out.
Yeah. Well, I like Get Out a lot, but for me, it doesn't come close to Inception. That's just a luck of the bad draw. So,
You should see Hereditary. It's very good.
all right, let's go down to a more difficult
Yeah.
bracket. Even
I want
worse.
to now.
Looper is what I have in my.
I love
my-
Looper. Speaking of time travel,
In time travel, we're in the
But-
Sweet 16.
the time travel's the worst part of it.
It's true.
Not much happens with the time travel, does
No,
it?
the problem is that it's not consistent with its time travel rules.
Oh, please.
Its biggest flaw is that it's not consistent with its time travel rules.
How about that guy deteriorating as he crawls across the road?
Except Bruce
Horrifying.
Willis's whole plan is to go back in time and alter that, but we've just proven that that isn't how it works.
I don't remember. I'll have to look at it again. Anyway,
Yeah,
I
it
know
survives a first viewing, but not a first viewing and then 3 articles
it
on the
doesn't-
internet,
it
unfortunately.
doesn't- Oh,
But it is
okay.
very great, and I love Rian Johnson. Shout out
And
to
it
Last
doesn't
Jedi.
matter at all to Elizabeth because nothing is getting past Your Name in the Southeast bracket, right?
Your Name does do very well in the Southeast bracket.
Below that, Toy
It
Story
beats out
3 is...
Your Name beats out Cabin in the Woods, which I love.
I know, right? We saw that together. It was a wonderful, spectacular, but I agree. For emotional freight, how can you compete with Your Name?
You mentioned Toy Story 3, which doesn't make it out of the 64 for me.
Wow. You don't
I
have that
haven't
better-
seen Zootopia.
Zootopia is really good.
No, it's not.
I
good.
haven't. It is really good.
But you love The Martian, of course.
I also haven't seen The Martian.
You haven't seen The Martian?
I haven't seen Toy Story 3 or The Martian. No.
Well, then we should just
Okay.
skip.
But-
Toy
Let's
Story
skip.
3 will make you cry, and it's a good movie. The Martian's just fun, easy,
We know-
good, cinematic.
We know for Elizabeth, in the final 4, starting in the Southeast where we are, Your Name is
Your
the
Name
definitive.
does beat out Spider-Verse, which sweeps the bottom half of that bracket. Yes.
Exactly.
Right,
Exactly. I
right.
haven't seen Spider-Verse
Oh
yet,
my
by
God,
the way.
it's a crime.
I know. Well,
It's
you
incredible.
try to talk my wife into going to see a cartoon in the theaters.
The last cartoon I recommended to her, she seemed to like.
That's true. Wait. I mean,
Which was Your Name.
Yeah, I know.
You
I was even
guys.
at home. That's really true. All right,
But
I'll try.
Spider-Verse beats out Shout Out to the Witch, which I haven't seen, but also here is excellent horror. Often mentioned
Okay.
in the same breath as Hereditary, which is why I'm bringing it up.
All right. Your Name in the lower,
Watch The Martian,
in
Elizabeth.
the
It's-
Southeast. That was great.
It's basically a remake of Apollo 13. It's not. It's based on a book, but emotion, energy-wise.
You are listening to Faith Biscuits, food for thought for the road.
So Elizabeth,
I'm surprised Interstellar isn't on this list. Speaking of movies that I haven't seen.
I asked Kate about this.
Look, Kate, love conquers the rules of space-time.
Yeah, no, I'd love to hear your breakdown of the movie. Not that you'd like
conquers
it.
the rules of space-time.
You've seen Interstellar. Tell me my analysis of it is wrong.
It was.
No,
it
you
had
clearly
a few
read
good
an article
things, but,
online, and that seems fine. It's pretty. It was pretty in theaters. It had lots of problems. It had lots of problems. Anyway.
Elizabeth, are you still insisting? Just back up. I'm actually getting into the final four here now.
Yeah, Final Four.
When we go back up to the northeast, are you suggesting that there's something better than Inception up there?
Yeah, Arrival, but also Hereditary.
Oh man, I can't stand it.
Wait. So which wins for you, Elizabeth? Arrival.
Arrival wins.
Arrival. Yeah. Not for me. I liked Arrival. Okay, there was a couple fatally flawed scenes that I think Inception doesn't have.
I would challenge you to name one of them, and also I would argue that you've forgotten how good the soundtrack is in Arrival.
Oh, if we're gonna go soundtrack, I'll hold up Inception over any day. Come on. We owe Inception our gratitude for Hans Zimmer, who's scaled everything on Netflix and all these movies since, and I suspect Arrival is scored by someone trying to be Hans Zimmer.
I don't think so. Arrival has a lot of very good string quartet pieces.
Really?
As opposed to just low notes.
I love low notes and building. I love.
Wow. Look, it's exciting. I get it.
I love Arrival. I love the timepiece. I love the relationships. I hated the bombing scene. Corny as the day is long. I didn't like the language. I thought there's some of it didn't work.
Why didn't you like the language?
The language is great.
The language is the best part.
Circles and lines. We were talking their elephants and they're touching the screens. I don't know.
God.
Okay, so Elizabeth, Dad was talking me into putting Inception here, but now that you're here defending Arrival, which was my original choice, I don't know what to do.
Yes, I think Inception is. You guys should see it again. It's been too long since you saw that top spinning. When he wakes up at the 90% point, splashing in the ocean, and you go, "Oh my God, we're back here. This is what this whole movie's about." What's the actress's name?
I almost said Maeve Wilson, which is
not the scary one.
Sex Education.
There's two women.
Super not accurate.
Not the scary wife who scares the crap out of us and is going to kill herself.
Ellen Page is who you're thinking.
Ellen Page.
Oh, not her?
Not her. I like her a lot, but Ellen Page dropping from the building saying you have to go back and solve this, I think is tragic and gorgeous, and she's brilliant as all get out. I love this movie.
The problem with Inception is that it knows exactly how clever it is.
Well, I know people like that. I'm related to people like that. I don't hold that against them.
Maybe you should. I think maybe they should aspire to be more, and
something more.
Inception's very good.
What's the
it
weak
doesn't
scene?
have an ambiguous ending, which is fine.
No, it does have an ambiguous ending, unless you read as much as you had after it.
I disagree. I rewatched it. I think it's not very ambiguous.
He's in a fantasy. He's got his kids.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
It's also a very great metaphor for filmmaking, which is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh darn it. I'm going to have to leave this. Now I'm just all upset. We're going to have to go
I'm confused now, and I don't know which one I want.
Arrival's better. I've watched Arrival as many times as Inception. I need to see Inception more recently, to be fair. Inception has incredible action sequences. Arrival is...
Visually, Inception's way better.
Arrival is emotional sci-fi, while Inception is not.
All right, Inception's
an exciting thrill ride, movie, and Arrival is a sci-fi drama, and it pulls it off, and it's incredible.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt having that fight scene in the twisting hallway, we'd never seen anything like that. It blew our little minds.
We'd never seen anything like that since
2001:
Singing in the Rain when they rotated the room.
All right, we're going to we have to go to the Southwest bracket to find our final of the final four. And I've got Edge of Tomorrow beating Star Trek.
I have Edge of Tomorrow beating Star Trek. for the final 8, and then I
Yes.
also have Edge of Tomorrow beating Blade Runner 2049.
And I have Edge of Tomorrow beating Ex Machina, so it's the same thing.
You guys are crazy. I have Ex Machina.
Wow.
I think
All
Ex Machina might be the right answer, but this is my bracket, and so Edge
Yeah.
of Tomorrow
No,
is
so
is
first
what
of
I'm
all,
sticking.
just to make you extra angry, I think Star Trek beats Edge of Tomorrow
Yeah, I know
before
you
losing
do.
to Ex Machina.
You should rewatch Edge of Tomorrow. It's better than you remember.
Oh, it's so much fun.
That's fair. I just remember it collapsing in the last
No.
act.
It doesn't
No.
collapse.
It's thrilling and it's poignant when they're stuck for all those repetitions in the barn where Tom Cruise has given up basically until I can't remember what happens and now he has to push through to save the day.
Also,
Yes. in the
Also,
last-
Edge of Tomorrow has any female characters, which is pretty neat.
That is fair.
She's very good. She's the queen, Emily Blunt. Northwest, I've
That's
got to go
true.
with Logan.
Hey, why isn't... How recent are we
Northwest,
going
you
with this
have to
bracket?
go with Logan? Oh my
Yes.
god.
Wait, hang on. What? Spoilers. Have either of you seen A Quiet Place?
Yes.
Is
No.
that not?
It's not on here.
sci-fi
I think
film?
I feel like this bracket might have been done a year ago or something and it's missed A Quiet Place.
That might be right.
A Quiet Place would easily make it in my top 16 here. Well, depending on what it was paired against. Not if it was paired against Inception.
So hang on. So you both have Edge of Tomorrow, really?
Kate, you're going.
I'm gonna
yes.
rewatch it. I'm making a note right now to
All right,
rewatch.
good for you.
But for the record, you need to rewatch Ex Machina because I did rewatch it recently,
I don't
and
think I
it's
could sit through
super
it
duper
again.
good.
All
Well,
right,
that's
all
because you're not paying enough attention to the interesting subtleties.
Wow.
I should watch Ex Machina again.
Damn
But
it.
It's
doesn't
so
matter.
good.
All right,
because-
let's go up to the Northwest, please.
Northwest.
Kate, you like Moon over
We
Logan?
decided Northwest. I'm doing Moon.
No.
You guys are both doing Logan.
Logan's
No.
easily in the top 8.
Yes, but
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Elizabeth, you're giving Black Panther?
No, Mad Max Fury Road is in the top 4.
Wow. You think that's better than Logan?
Oh, yes. Mad Max Fury Road is one chase scene that manages to be incredibly readable at all times. You're never confused about the position of any of the multiple cars or people on those cars. That's a miracle of filmmaking.
I just don't care about the people that much.
You should watch it again.
Interesting.
I don't care about Max very much, but that's because he's not the protagonist, which is
That's
great.
right. What's her name? Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlize Theron again.
No, Mad Max, the last act is so predictable. We're back at the fountain. We're going to turn the water back on and feed the people. Everything's fine. Man, how we did not see that. We saw that 10 minutes into the movie how it was going to end. We didn't see that with Logan. Well,
Yeah, you
maybe we
did.
did. Yeah.
There's only one way that story ends.
It was a
That's
beautiful
not even a
ending.
spoiler to say. It was a
It
beautiful
was-
ending.
I loved it. All right, hang on. So, to review, we're in our final 4. We are in rampant disagreement about the Northwest bracket.
I think we're in
Elizabeth
rampant
has
disagreement, period.
About
Elizabeth-
everything, I think. Yeah.
Elizabeth
Here's
has
my
Mad Max.
final
I've got
4.
Logan. Kate has Moon. I know what yours is. On your Northeast, Elizabeth has Arrival. I've
I
got
maybe
Inception.
have Arrival. I don't know
You
what
should have
I
Arrival.
think
It's
about the
better than
Northeast
Inception,
anymore.
Kate. Come on.
I know.
I'm
Kate's
confused
been totally
now about the Northeast.
brain melded. She can't tell. In the Southeast, Elizabeth and I both have Your Name.
And Kate has Spider-Verse or Looper?
Or
Gotta have
Cabin in the
Spider-Verse
I
Woods.
there.
have it in the woods.
Yeah.
Just because of how the pairings worked out.
Cabin in the Woods would be, because you haven't seen that, and then it beats Looper, and then it beats
Yeah,
Spider-Verse?
You can see how it can beats Spider-Verse
To
too.
be fair, partially because I think Spider-Verse isn't that heavy. I guess it is pure fantasy. I don't know. I just feel like Cabin in the Woods wins.
I
sorry.
think Spider-Verse is easily better than Cabin in the Woods.
I just feel
And
like
then
Cabin in the
we
Woods
have-
like revives the horror genre and does
That's
such
because you haven't
creative
seen
things.
good horror, as we discussed earlier, Hereditary.
That's fair.
All right. And then in the South,
Still Cabin in the Woods.
we have Ex Machina and Edge of Tomorrow.
hmm
I don't know if we're going to get any more agreement than all that we just did.
I don't.
So does that mean, Kate?
Oh wait,
what
no,
do
we
you-
got to come down to the final 2. Sorry.
Kate, what do you have in the Northwest?
How are we going to do it? She's
I
got
have
Moon
Moon.
in there.
You have Moon.
Moon haunted me like for so long. I still think about him like crying and pulling out his teeth and being like, "What am I?" Like,
Which means that our final
Spoilers,
2 have
sorry.
none of the same movies
I
in
know
them.
it. I know that's
My
really
final
hard.
2, of
That's a
course,
bust.
is Your Name versus Mad Max Fury Road.
Right, and you would go with Your Name in that way, right?
We'll have to wait until we get to the winner, won't we?
We don't have that because we can't get there.
Right.
We're all in
And
disagreement
so
here. Kate, your finals have
are I'm Arrival versus Ex Machina.
Oh, that's a
So-
final right there.
I gotta go with Cerebral. Again, I feel like that's really fair. And if you think of those two films, yeah, I would hold up either as like, this is the pinnacle of science fiction filmmaking. That seems right to me.
Wow.
Yeah, that's fair. I agree with that.
And I get that it's a little bit heavy, but my final is Inception.
And Logan.
Inception versus Logan.
Another easy choice.
Well, in that case, for me, it is easy. Inception's the better movie.
Oh my God!
Logan is predictable in its plot in the way that Inception in no way is.
Inception is completely predictable. It's a heist movie.
way.
They pull off a heist, and then they do it. That's basically
It's a brain
the plot.
heist, Kate. They're in his head. They're
Yes,
changing
it's
his
very
motivation. It all
sci-fi.
has to
It's
happen
very
in time.
clever. You come up with an idea. There's a rich investor. You get the team together. You face some obstacles. The stakes get higher. You work through the obstacles.
Oh,
Look, the team
man.
pulled it off.
I have to give it Inception because of where it draws, and over Logan because Logan is ultra predictable, even though it has more emotion and heart to it. Logan, hey, with all due respect, Logan is a middle-aged man's action movie. It has so much to say about mortality.
I would
and
argue
power.
Logan's not an action movie.
Yeah, no kidding. It's a drama in that way. Wow.
My winner is Mad Max Fury Road, by the way.
Oh my God. Okay, well, and I don't really know why your name belongs on here. Oh, we're not supposed to talk about this, but
It's a fantasy movie.
yeah.
They're switching bodies. That's fantasy.
All right.
It's incredible. Your Name beats out Arrival because they're competing on very similar playing fields for me. And while Arrival's emotional payload is incredible, Your Name's is more so.
Sure.
But
Sure.
Mad Max Fury Road is literally a perfect action movie, so it's really hard to compete with that.
I also give music makes a difference here to me. I mean, Your Name had great music, and that's why it goes so far for me. That emotional heft is about the music in many ways.
I would say the best music on here. I think I'm comfortable saying that.
Well, it's. I mean, I don't know how you grade that. It's sing along. It's pop. It's Japanese pop, compelling,
The theme, yeah.
and the songs that are in my head.
All right, fine. This will be great editing out for you for the podcast.
None of that competes with me with Hans Zimmer and Time, for example.
Hang on. So I agree with your choices. I have Ex Machina against Arrival.
Right.
Of
As a
my final two,
as
what do
the
you guys
final.
think? Who's the winner out of those?
I need to go.
tough.
I don't know if I can go through Ex Machina again. I'd see Arrival again because I love her grief and the loss and the cancer, and I love the mysticism of the coming back together. What's the point of her? Really? I guess it's a flash ahead where she has a child with the guy, even though she knows it's going to end. That is a great
Oh my
statement.
God!
That's. I mean, there's that is a little sketchy. Amy
It's
Adams,
the whole
is that
crux.
who it is?
Yes, Amy Adams in.
It's about
criminally-
free will, Father. That's the takeaway from the movie. If you'd like to watch it again, it's only about whether the choices that we make have any meaning or purpose at all. That's all.
Insert joke about Calvinism here.
Oh, God.
No, the whole point of Arrival, spoilers for Arrival if somehow you've made it this far and haven't seen it yet,
Exactly.
is that the aliens' way of communicating enables them to think differently, which enables them to see time not as a straight line, but as an ocean. And so she knows before getting with Hawkeye from the Avengers
Thank
that
you.
the child they have...
Who has
that
nothing to
A,
do in this movie, by the way.
nothing to do, but he doesn't need to do anything.
Well, it would have been nice if he
A,
was a believable,
that their
interesting
relationship is not
character.
going to work out, and B, that her daughter is going to die.
Yes.
She
All
knows
right.
both of those things, and yet chooses to go on because she would like to meet her daughter and earn those memories.
That's beautiful. That little synopsis was more beautiful than the movie.
Maybe you should have paid more attention.
Maybe it was.
Don't
was
be
it a
so
long
patient.
movie?
God.
Oh gosh. Do you think, of these movies, Inception is the oldest? Maybe you're not recalling it well.
Wait,
Your
hang
Name
on.
is very recent. Arrival is very recent. Mad
Yeah.
Max isn't, well, sort of.
We are living in a sort of mini resurgence for sci-fi movies right now. I feel like they're very in, and more of them are being produced with high budget values.
Right.
Point of
No.
order, Coraline came out in 2009, Inception came out in 2010, so Coraline is older than Inception in this bracket.
And Coraline, did I see Coraline?
Coraline is very good. Neil Gaiman story, stop motion animated, very, very good. Did not
Didn't
beat
get out of-
Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah,
Exactly.
just bad luck bracket-wise.
But Inception is not the oldest movie on here.
Oh, thank
That's
you,
all.
but very close to it. Given our
Yes,
Sweet
it is. It
16.
is very
That's-
old.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So since we disagree so much, we don't have to watch a
know.
Final Four. We can watch each of our winners, and we'll watch
Exactly.
different movies.
Well,
we can
those are
watch Mad Max
extremely-
Fury Road and Inception, and I don't know who I want to win.
Extremely high recommendations.
I think you got to put Arrival. I think you got to
Yeah.
put Arrival just because Ex Machina is an ending that says humanity is bad, and Arrival is an ending that says humanity is good.
Wow, that leaves it open. That's true.
And I think
Emotionally-
if you're getting down in the weeds, you got to pull for those roots and say, all right, I would like to believe in the goodness of humanity. God damn it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that.
Well, and Ex
Wow.
Machina is at least as much about non-humanity as it is about humanity. And I like good science fiction that's about humanity, so I feel like that gives
boy.
Arrival maybe a bit of an
Yes,
edge.
that's helpful.
So, Kate, you need to see Logan and Your Name, which,
That's-
correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there a copy of Your Name within, say,
10 feet
30
of you?
feet of your person?
Like your sister gave
That-
it to
that
you.
sounds about right.
Incredible. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, Kate, there's some
Interesting.
in the Final Four that you haven't even seen. I
Um,
want to see Moon again.
Well, and I might rewatch Edge of Tomorrow because I think I've only seen it once or twice, and it did really well in
they're
both your
working on a
brackets.
sequel.
Both of you
right?
should rewatch Edge of Tomorrow. I should rewatch Inception.
All right. Well, this has been spectacular. Thank you so much for talking about one of our favorite topics.
Yeah.
This can save us some time next time we're together. We won't have to rehash all this. All right, listen, you guys. I love you both.
I love you too.
Love you.
I'm gonna go actually do something
I know.
with my day.
I
Maybe.
should like shower, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah,
People-
shower, clean. What do people do during the day? Yeah.
All right, love you. See you.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.